Howdy, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Cowboys of the Osage podcast, brought to you by the Ben Johnson Cowboy Museum, located in historic downtown Pawhuska, Oklahoma. Hey, it's old Cody over here, and as always, I have my sidekick with me, my co-host, Mr. Rodeo Historian himself, Mr. Everything Around Here Historian himself, Jimbo Snively. Hey, Jimbo, good afternoon, and what's going on today?
Hey, Cody boy, it's just another great day in Osage, man. You know, Cody, we're coming up on the big Ben Johnson days, June 15th to the 19th. About the biggest thing happens around here. It was really big last year. I went to all the stuff, and it was really a neat deal, and I think it's going to be bigger and better this year, and we're just looking forward to it.
Yeah, we'll give them kind of a little rundown on the whole schedule this year and maybe a little bit of history on some of the events that's going on, for sure. For sure. It was a good event last year.
Oh, for sure. I went to the steer rope, went to the ranch rodeo, went to those parties. Just the whole deal was just first class the whole way. Good weather, just everything.
It was great. It was a little hot.
It was a little warm.
A little better, a little hot than not hot, I guess.
Well, yeah, I wore a long sleeve shirt to that party, but I felt better when you came in with a black long sleeve shirt on. Made me feel a little cooler.
It was one of the hottest Junes on record last year.
It was.
In history. So, it starts off on Wednesday, June 15th. That kicks off Ben Johnson Days this year. And this year, they're changing it up a little bit, Jimbo. The fine folks down there at the Constantine Theater, one of the oldest running theaters in the whole state of Oklahoma, if not the oldest continuously operated theater in the whole state. I think it's actually the second oldest theater in the state. So
that's what I've heard.
Probably the longest continuously operated. It's so cool in there. It's very historic.
It's just unbelievable. Just historic. I went there. I used to go to the picture show there back when I was a little old kid on Saturdays, you know. It's really a neat place. I'm so glad they fixed it up and turned it back to its original, you know, glory or whatever you want to call it. You know, it's just really great.
Well, they got it looking good in there. And this year, they've added a whole new event. It's called, let me make sure I don't get it wrong here. The event this year is called Ben Johnson Days, Artisans of the West Show. And Jimbo, this thing is going to be top notch. So every year, I don't know, a group of 13 artists get together at the Cowboy Hall of Fame. They got rawhide braiders, and they have leather workers, and they have silver workers, and you know, every kind of aspect in cowboy culture, there's a maker, but there's only 13 of them on the whole deal. And we're lucky enough to have one of the 13 from right here in Osage County, Jay Adcock. He's put together this Artisans of the West show, and the opening night mixer kicks off on Wednesday, June 15th. And this show, Jimbo, it runs all the way through Sunday the 19th. So if you don't make it for the opening night, you got all the way through Sunday. It's open for everybody to come look at. And literally, they have some of the best cowboy craftsmen in the entire world. In world, when I say world, I mean world. They got artisans from Argentina, South America. We got a guy from France. He's sending stuff in. These guys are the very best in the world. Their stuff's going to be shown right here in Pawhuska for over a week straight, and it's going to be quite the treat for everybody to come check out.
Well, just coming to the Constantine Theater is a treat, you know, and then you get to see all this unbelievable work. That's a can't miss deal.
And you got a chance to own it. You can buy it.
Right.
I think the highest dollar item they're sending is a saddle worth $50,000, Jimbo.
Well, shoot, I might buy that. Is it a pretty nice saddle?
Well, it's all right. It's all right.
Yeah. What size seats it got in?
Oh, well, if it ain't got a 14.5 or so, I'm not going to be interested in it.
That's the way with me. So
let's hope it does. If not, hopefully it fits someone else.
It'll fit somebody with deep pockets.
But, you know, they've invited some people that are just world class. Literally, when we say world, Jimbo, we literally mean world. They're coming from all over the world.
I know Jay Adcock will be there, but will some of the other artists be there? Or they just send their stuff?
No, they've heard quite a few of them coming in, flying in just for it. So it's really going to be a special show, and it's the first one ever right here in Pawhuska, and they're going to have it annually from here on. So Artisans of the West, quite the show right there.
Oh, absolutely. You don't want to miss that.
It runs the 15th through the 19th. Opening night is the 15th. Contact the ConstantineTheater.com, ConstantineTheater.com to get all your tickets and find out all the info on it. You'll find out all the artists they're showing and ticket prices for the opening night mixer. I know where I'm going to be June 15th.
Oh, absolutely. But you're saying like on Saturday or Friday afternoon, it'll still be open for people?
It's open to the public every day from, I don't know the exact hours every day.
Sure.
I'm sure just, 10 to 5, 10 to 6, something like that. Every single day, right downtown, Pawhuska, at the Constantine Theater, you can check out. And this stuff, I can't tell everybody how important some of these artists are to our Western way of life. And if you're not familiar with them, you ought to be, because they are the very best in the world, and they're going to be showing here. So I don't know what else to tell you about that, Jimbo. It's going to be a great time, great people, great Western cowboy using art. I mean, it's art, but you can use every piece of it that they're going to be sending.
And what's cool, people can come to town early and just stay, and we got something going every day.
That's right.
Cool.
And then Thursday the 16th, we got our long-standing party that the Chamber of Commerce throws every year. It's in association with Preserving the Arts of the Osage, I believe is the name of the association. It's an art show and party, one night only, Thursday night, June 16th, over there at the... Well, I think they're actually, it's put on by the Chamber of Commerce, but they're having it out at the Fairgrounds in a big air-conditioned building this year.
Wow. Well, it was a little warm last year. It
was a great party last year. It was a little warm outside. This year, they're going to have it in the comfort of some air conditioning.
Wow.
And, I had such a good time last year. I can't even remember part of that party, Jimbo.
I know it.
We were partying.
And great food, plenty to drink.
They had a great band there.
Yes, great band, live music, and all this artwork, and just really neat.
The food, I think, was tri-tip on the grill.
Oh, it would melt in your mouth. I do remember that about it.
It was mouth-melting meat in there.
You talk about tender now. It was tender.
So that is being put on Thursday night, June 16th, by the Chamber of Commerce right here in Pawhuska. The party's out at the Fairgrounds. If you need to get a hold of anybody, if you want tickets to this great event, which I'm going. I know where I'm going to be Thursday, June 16th.
Absolutely.
That evening. I'm going to be over there in the air conditioning.
Right.
The Uncorked party.
You can wear your black shirt.
I'll wear my black shirt. Might even wear my black hat to that one, Jimbo.
Right.
It's going to be a great party. They got lots of great artists there. You can buy art there. And it's put on by a bunch of great folks. They've been adding to this week for, I think this might be their 12th one. So this has been standing for a good dozen years, and it's a great Pawhuska Ben Johnson Days tradition now. The Uncorked party by the Chamber of Commerce. Then Friday, it starts getting pretty interesting around town, Jimbo. It starts getting pretty interesting. Friday the 17th, right here in Pawhuska, Ben Johnson Days. At 10 a.m., Friday the 17th, we have the Osage County Cattlemen's Association Luncheon out at the Fairgrounds, and it's a good one. Do you know what all they do out there, Jimbo? Have you ever been involved, went to it?
No, I don't. I've never went to the luncheon. I've been on the tour, and I went to the, of course, we used to have a dance every night up to the country club during the Cattlemen's, at the barbecue on Friday night, and that was a big deal.
Well, I think all the local ranchers get together, and they talk about what's going on in the ranching industry. Mm-hmm. Preferably probably what's going on in Osage County right here in the ranching industry. And I think that, all the local livestock auctions, they show up to talk to all the local ranchers, and the medicine, the medicine salesmen come out there. It's a whole trade show they have just for cattlemen. And actually, I don't think you have to be from Osage County to go to it whatsoever. You don't have to be a cattleman here. I think you just buy a ticket and go.
Right.
I think it's a great steak lunch they have right there every year.
Now, is it going to be in that same building?
It's going to be in the same building as the
air-conditioned building.
Air-conditioned building.
Right. It gets pretty hot and humid here, about that time of year, so that air-conditioned building would be nice.
Oh, yeah. Friday's a jam-packed day, Jimbo. So that's at 10 a.m. that morning, the Osage County Cattlemen's Association Luncheon. They've been having that thing since 1947, Jimbo, so.
I know it.
It's been around for quite some time, even longer than the Ben Johnson Roping.
Yeah, I know it.
And then 11, Also at 10 a.m. that day, same time, same place at the fairgrounds, they're going to be having the Buddy Hartness Memorial Steer Roping.
Right. Buddy Hartness, that's a senior roping, right?
It's a senior roping,
Yeah.
so, these guys are some of the best of the best, the best that's ever lived. They're in their own senior division. It's like a master's class. And
don't let that senior fool you. They can rope, for sure.
It's just like the golfers.
Right.
It's the best of the best.
Right, right.
Some
of them rope better than they did before they were seniors. Got tougher, just...
It seems like this steer roping event, the older these guys get, the better they get. Right. They're like fine wine, Jimbo.
Right. Yep.
You ever seen such a thing?
I know it. Buddy Hartness, he was a great friend of steer roping around this area, and did a lot to promote steer roping, and was always around, and great guy. And of course, he's the dad of Rod Hartness.
Oh yeah, another great steer roper from our area.
Right
I think.
Here. Yep.
13, 14 time NFR qualifier, and Rod, he's also former Ben Johnson steer roping champion from right here.
Right. We've had a bunch of them.
And he does a great job putting that steer roping on. I think it's free to get into, so it's free for the public. It's a great steer roping, going to go on Friday the 17th. It starts at 10 a.m. It's at the fairgrounds, rain or shine. If it's a nice day and the sun's shining, they're going to have it outdoors in the big Ben Johnson Jr. Arena. And then if it's raining or the weather's not cooperating in some form or fashion, they're going to have it in the indoor arena. So it's going to be a great rain or shine event right there, Jimbo.
Shoot, yeah. We got two premier arenas right here in Pawhuska. We got that big outdoor pen, which is unprecedented for size and history all over, from years past. And then we got this fairly new indoor arena that's just state-of-the-art. So,
yeah, it's one of the best. It's one of the best around, that's for sure. And how big is the Ben Johnson Arena? Ben Son Johnson, the big one.
It's just like a pin. You just turn them out in a pin. They can go either direction, and it's long. You never run out of. You can throw both loops way before you get the back end. I've done it.
If they let it grass over, they can turn out a set of cattle in there and let them. It's like a pasture.
Yeah.
It's like a pasture. How many cattle could that survive in there? I wonder if they just let it grass back up.
I don't know. If they'd water it a little bit, why? It'd hold a bunch of them.
I tell you what, it's a big arena. If you've never been there, when you arrive, you're going to and see it for the first time, you're going to be like, my gosh, that is one big arena.
And the history, go all the way back to Blue Gentry and Henry Grammer. Just think of them guys roping in that old big pen, and stuff back in the day.
That's right. It's seen a lot of action in that pen.
Man.
A lot of historic ropings have been held in there besides the Ben Johnson.
Yeah, for sure.
We have a flyer in there at one time. I think for 1 year only, they had a bulldog in there, Jimbo.
Right.
And it was the only arena in the state of Oklahoma they could find to have a 35-foot running head start and still have a bulldog in.
Wow.
And it was Oklahoma versus Texas.
Right. I've heard about it. I wasn't there, but I've heard a lot about it.
I think it's all the Oklahoma world champions against the Texas world champions or the best of the time.
Right.
So, Roy Duval, Don Huddleston, Tommy Combs.
Stan Williamson,
another good world champion from right here in Oklahoma.
Yep.
It was quite the day, I've heard, Jimbo.
Oh, I know it. I've heard a lot about it.
They've had bulldoggins all the way to ostrich and camel races in there.
Right.
You never know what they're going to be having over there at the Ben Johnson Arena. But anyway, the Buddy Hartness Memorial Steer Roping, it starts at 10 a.m., same time as the Cattlemen's Convention starts. You can pick the Cattlemen's Convention or you can go watch a steer roping. There's more than one guy can do.
Right.
And then 1 p.m., same day, Friday the 17th, right there in June, the doors open for the John Israel Cowboy Trade Show, Jimbo.
I went to that last year, and that was a really neat deal. They have some of the coolest stuff there for sale. All those vendors, they going to have about the same amount of vendors this year or more? Or?
Well, I talked to Charlie the other day. He said it's coming along just great. He said it's going to be just about like last year. Mm-hmm. And for everyone that don't know who Charlie is, he is a board member of the National Bit and Spur and Saddle Collectors Association. So he has invited the top of the top dealers in the Western world right here. So last year there was $1 million worth of bits and spurs in there, Jimbo.
Oh yeah, and hats and just everything, jewelry,
handmade hats. Yeah, if you need a pair of boots, there's boot makers there.
The wife and I walked through there and just really enjoyed it. It's got some cool stuff for sure.
They have a little of everything in there. If you're interested in just about anything Has to do with the Western way of life. They're selling it there. I think they have about 50 vendors this year, Jimbo.
Yeah.
And it's all right there in the indoor arena.
And it's named after our fellow Osage County and John Israel.
That's right. One of our local legends.
Local legend for sure.
And for people that don't know who John Israel is, he's a treasure. He's still alive right here. He's a bit and spur maker. He's made his living making bits and spurs right here in Osage County for 40, 50 years.
At least.
And he's still right here. He's got his little shop in Winona. And we just wanted to give John a little tip of the hat and tell him we appreciate all the years he's given to the cowboy way of life, making bits and spurs, things that actually work. And we're going to have the John Israel Bit and Spur Show from now on, Cowboy Trade Show from now on, during Ben Johnson days. Last year was the first year. It was a great success, and we hope to see everybody at it this year.
Yeah, he's a local. I mean, he's a local legend, but he's known far and wide all over the country.
Yeah,
just a great guy.
Locally owned, worldwide known. John D. Israel, right there. Not a better fella.
No, couldn't be. I don't know how you could. And he still makes that stuff just handmade with a file and a hacksaw, and it's just amazing the work he turns out.
Never heard him say a curse word.
No, I never have.
Never heard a bad word about him.
If you couldn't make him curse, he probably didn't ever curse.
I know. I bring out them curse words in people sometimes, Jimbo. I can't help it.
You're right.
And we're still on Friday the 17th here, Jimbo. All this is happening, so we got...
Haven't even got the weekend yet.
We got the Cattlemen's Luncheon. We got the Buddy Hartness Memorial Steer Open. We got the John D. Israel Cowboy Trade Show doors opening. 7 p.m. that night. WRCA Ranch Rodeo action kicks off right there in the indoor arena, right there with the trade show. One ticket gets you into both, Jimbo.
I went to my first one last year, and I was really impressed. That they put on a good rodeo, and it's all events that they would do out on the job, and they're really good at it, and they get to showcase their skills, what they do on a daily basis. They get to come to town and show off a little bit, and they really put on a good rodeo.
Yep, on top of all the money and prize package they're going to win, some great buckles. It's a pretty large prize package they win for the winning team here. On top of all that, the winning team from Pawhuska is automatically qualified for the World Championships they have in Amarillo this fall. So
that's like the NFR of ranch rodeos.
That is the NFR of ranch rodeos. That's where they crown the only recognized world champions in the sport of ranch rodeo.
Right.
So one team that you see right here in Pawhuska is guaranteed a slot at the World Championships.
Yeah.
Well, that's something else.
That's something to shoot for too. That's a dream come true to those guys to get to go to the Amarillo.
And this isn't like this WRCA. It isn't like the PRCA. They don't have 100 rodeos a year you can go to.
Right.
They got 20. Mm-hmm. You got 20 opportunities to qualify for the World Championship, and Pawhuska is one of those 20.
Right.
The events they do. The events. It's pretty good watching, Jimbo.
Right. I like the wild cow milking and the bronc riding was really good.
Yeah, we got the ranch bronc riding.
Yep.
The guy bringing the horses, he takes horses to the National Finals Rodeo in Vegas.
They had some good broncs last year.
He's bringing his top string. He said he's going to be throwing these guys through the rafters this year.
They were eliminators last year, I thought.
And then on top of that, we've added another new event during the rodeo this year, junior ranch bronc riding. So kids, I don't know, I think 14 and under, maybe 12 and under, I don't remember. They're bringing in the wildest, buckinest ponies out of the Arkansas wilderness right here to Pawhuska.
Never seen a man, probably.
Never seen a man.
Flank them up and turn them out.
They're going to be putting these kids on there. Now, these aren't your normal kids.
No.
This isn't just some kid they get out of the stands and throw down on a ranch bronc, because it's serious business.
Sure.
You can get seriously hurt on a bucking horse.
Absolutely.
This isn't like the sheep riding.
No. Mutton busting.
This is ranch bronc riding, but it's kids riding horses that's never seen a human, Jimbo.
I know it.
Never had a human on their back.
It'd be hard to even get on. You might get thrown off before you can get out of the chute.
Anyway, we're one of the only rodeos in the country that features this junior ranch bronc riding, but we're one of the only places in the country where we got this many cowboys, kids, to fill up a whole junior ranch bronc riding, too.
This might be the cowboy capital of the world.
In our opinion, it is, Jimbo. In our opinion, it is.
You can make a good argument for it.
Well, I'll argue with them till I'm blue in the face for it, for sure. So that wraps up Friday. You got the luncheon. You got the steer roping. You have the John Israel Trade Show, and then 7 p.m. Ranch Rodeo. That caps Friday off. And we're not even done with the weekend yet, Jimbo.
Well, you haven't even got to Saturday yet.
I ain't got to Saturday. Saturday's an even busier day than the previous day, I think. Saturday, June 18th. We're going to start it off at 8 a.m. It starts even, every day it seems like it starts a little earlier. They're going to have a hard time getting me in up at 8 a.m. Saturday morning.
Especially after Friday night.
Exactly. You know that, Jimbo.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
They're going to have a good cold pop stand there.
Right.
From what I understand.
Sure.
The coldest pops around.
Absolutely.
For sure. But 8 a.m. since 1947, the Osage County Cattlemen's Association Ranch Tour.
And that's really a big deal. You know, people look forward to that, and they switch it up every year. They go to different ranches, you know, and people spiffy their place up, you know, and have it really looking good, and their best cattle out in front where people can see them, you know, and stuff. And it's really a neat deal.
You know, how did this start out? I'm just guessing on part of this, on how it might have started out, Jimbo. From what I understood, this Osage County Cattlemen's Ranch Tour, it kind of started off as a way to sell cattle, because we didn't have the internet back then, and They only had so many sales, and it was a pain to get them all to town, I'm sure, back in those days, without, you know, trucks and trailers, and they had to pretty much put them on the railroad car to get them anywhere.
Right.
So I think that they started having this. They bring in all the prospective cattle buyers from around the country and show them a good time, and take them around and show them the ranches and some of the cattle they could be buying, and obviously the cattlemen and the cattle buyers would all get together during the day when they would stop or stop for lunch when they were done, or breakfast when they start out. You know, let everybody get acquainted with each other and have a heck of a good time right there.
You're probably right, Cody. I wasn't around in 1947, but I bet you're onto something there. That's probably how it started.
I've done some reading, and that's what I've understood.
Still being used the same way. I mean, you know, there's cattle sold, and
it was used the same way all up until about the 2012 when the internet started changing the world, you know?
Yeah.
So that's how business was done then.
Yep.
You came and looked at them and you bought them. You didn't just look at them on a TV or a screen.
Yep.
You had to come look at them in person.
Right.
Decide whether you wanted them or not.
Right.
That's the only way to do it.
Right.
So thus we became Osage County Cattlemen's Ranch Tour.
Right. It's a big deal. Anybody, even if you're not really interested in cattle, just go along there with them and just take it all in. It's quite a deal.
Yeah, so I think right when you start, you tune your radio into a certain radio station, and they give you all the background and history of everywhere you go, and giving you an idea what you're looking at when you go buy it. And it was really something else, Jimbo.
Yeah, it's a cool deal. It really is. And unique. I don't know if they even have them everywhere, but it's unique for this area.
I haven't heard of one anywhere. Well, you know what? I might make an exception this year. Get up. Go on that deal, Jimbo.
Well, you should. Just one time, just say you'd been.
Well, maybe if you'll drive, that way I can catch a nap in between.
Yeah, you'd sleep, miss the whole tour probably after Friday night.
Yeah, you know it. You know it. I have to get rested up for Saturday night, Jimbo.
That's going to be a big deal.
9 a.m., same day. John Israel Cowboy Trade Show, doors open up 9 a.m. on Saturday the 18th. So the first day is the 17th, second day of it's the 18th. And, you know, we went on and on about it a while ago. You can go buy anything and everything you want, Western way of life, collectibles, new and used stuff, just about anything you want at the John Israel Cowboy Trade Show. The doors open at 9 a.m. on Saturday the 18th, Jimbo.
Right.
And then 10 a.m., you know how I told you about the big WRCA Ranch Rodeo where the men, they get qualified to go to Amarillo to the World Championships?
Right.
10 a.m. on Saturday, guess what we have? Junior WRCA.
Now, they didn't have that last year, so I'm interested to watch that this year. That sounds unique.
It's a brand new thing.
Yeah.
It's a brand new thing. It's a part of the same association the men are a part of that we have each night. But this one is just for juniors, and they are qualified to go to the World Championships, the winner out of this one. So the winner from this one will go to the Junior World Championships in Amarillo this fall.
Don't you know those kids are dreaming about going to Amarillo now, just winning here and moving on?
You know, that has to be a dream for many of them, Jimbo. Can you only imagine watching your dad at the what we would call the national finals of ranch rodeo for several years, or someone in your family, and now you actually got a chance to go and compete during the day for your own junior world championship. That's just something else, Jimbo.
Oh, that's just a dream come true to those kids, and I bet they're practicing right now as we speak.
Well, they're taking it pretty serious. It's one of the more serious ones because the one winner moves on.
Right, yeah. Don't think that there's just going to be a bunch of people out there clowning around or acting like kids or something. This is serious business to them, and they're wanting to move on to Amarillo.
And you know what? One wild event they have that I read, wild steer riding, Jimbo.
Wow. You
ever seen that?
Well, yeah, but there used to be a real popular event back before they had Bramer bull riding. You know, they rode steers, but I haven't seen anything like that in a long time.
So I don't know if they have a halter on them and they turn them out of a buck and shoot and they saddle them and ride them across the line, or they start off with them saddled. But
so they're actually going to be saddled.
Steers, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
It's going to be wild steer saddling.
Okay.
Something to that effect.
Okay.
It's going to be good watching.
Well, so they're going to come out of the chute, or they're going to have to go catch them and saddle them, or what?
I think they'll probably come out of the buck and shoot,
okay.
But don't hold me to that, Jimbo.
Okay. Well, it's new to us for sure.
You know, they
just go see it to find out.
They also have trailer loading. That's going to be good watching. Yep. Fastest time wins. And one thing about this particular ranch rodeo that we got, the men's and the kids, most of them are two-headers or something like that, Jimbo. This one's a one-header. Different people each night, and only the one fastest time team moves on to the championships.
So you just get one shot, you better make it good.
So, you know, a lot of times in an average rodeo or an average roping where you get more than one head, you just want to stay consistent and get everything
safety
down.
Up a little bit, you know.
But I think we're going to see some fast times in this.
Yeah.
They're going to have to let their hair down a little bit for the one fast time overall.
No reason to hold back. You know, just get one shot.
One shot.
Go for it.
I don't see why not, Jimbo. You know it's going to be good.
Oh, for sure. That's going to be good watching.
It's going to go to the most consistent team that's the fastest.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
But they're going to have to take a few risks, I think.
For sure.
The winning team will, anyway.
Yeah.
24 teams, 12 each night. And then, also 10 a.m., holy moly, this is an action-packed day on Saturday. The D.D. Kyler Memorial Steer Open out at the Barkay Arena, west of town here.
Beautiful arena. If you haven't seen that arena, it's one of the prettiest arenas in the country. It sits down there in a grove of trees there below the house. And Delbert was a steer roper, he supported steer. He wasn't just a steer roper, but he supported steer roping. You know, he's just a great friend to steer roping, and just a great guy. And he died here 2 or 3 years ago, and they're having this roping in his honor, and I think it's a really great deal.
You know, he was, in my mind, he was probably him and his family. Mm-hmm. I'm going to include his family in on this whole deal. His wife, Marilyn, his son, Dee, his daughter, Melanie. They're not in it for the money. They're in it for the sport.
Right.
They're in it to keep the sport going.
Right.
I would have to say they're the longest supporters of steer roping there's probably ever been. Probably. Some of the best friends that steer ropers ever had. The whole Kyler family.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that.
And Delbert, he was such a character. I miss that old guy.
Yeah, I've traveled with him a lot. Me and him used to go to Jimmy Smith's at Denton every year. You know, I just knew that's who I was going with, you know. And, we'd always have a lot of fun, for sure.
I can only imagine some of the trouble you two got into going down there.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad, but we'd had a lot of fun. We really did. Sometimes we'd come back winners, and sometimes we didn't do so good. But.
He probably didn't come back in a bad mood, though,
No,
did you?
No, not at all.
Did you ride down in the big motorhome with him?
No, we were in that big four-door white diesel truck he always drove, you know, Ford, pulling a stock trailer, and had about 4 horses in there.
Boy, he was a character.
He sure was.
Miss Delbert, but I'm glad they have a roping named after him, and it's right here during Ben Johnson days.
Right.
And, Jimbo, all the best ropers in the world come to this roping, too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because they're already here for the Ben Johnson. They make 2 roping, so you're going to see the best of the best out there.
For sure. And it's a good time out there. They got a good steak sandwich, and just a great roping. Starts at 10 a.m., the D.D. Kyler Memorial Steer Roping. You can check out OsageSteerRopingClub.com or check them out on Facebook, Osage Steer Roping Club on Facebook, for more information and directions out there, because it's about 15 miles of dirt road out of town. So.
Yeah, but it's not hard to find. It's well marked, over the road, and a pretty drive, out there in beautiful Osage County,
It's like a ranch tour by itself.
It really is.
Out there.
It really is.
And it really is one of the most beautiful spreads in the whole area. Delbert, he dedicated his life to beautifying that ranch.
Yeah, and that creek it's a Little Hominy Creek. It runs through his place there, and it's really pretty. Big bottom down in there.
Oh, yeah.
And Delbert's buried out there, isn't he?
I would have to say,
I think
right there, yes.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
He overlooks it all, makes sure Dee's doing it right.
I've been skinny dipping, and I've been swimming in that creek before, Jimbo. Long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I fished it. I never did swim in it.
Yeah, there's 2. I learned there's a bunch of big snapping turtles in there, so you got to be careful. You got to be careful. And then, every day, while all this is going on, you can still check out the Artisans of the West.
Right, the doors are open.
Over there at the Constantine, all day, every day, right over there. The best Western artists in the world, still showing their stuff.
In the historic Constantine Theater. That's a draw, too.
That's right. We're still on Saturday, Jimbo. Saturday the 18th. So we've been on the ranch tour. We done checked out the trade show for the morning. We watched a little bit of the junior rodeo. Steer roping out at Delbert's. We had to get out there, check out the end of that. 7 p.m. again, the WRCA Ranch Rodeo, second night of it. Right there at the Osage County Fairgrounds in the indoor building. It's going on right with the trade show, and you're going to be able to watch the second night of it right there, Jimbo.
I know it. And like I say, I went last year. That was just a really neat deal, my wife and I. And a lot of local, mostly local teams, aren't they, Cody?
Well, we have teams from all over the nation entering this year. We do have our best.
I mean, Kansas and Oklahoma, though, it's kind of regional, isn't it, or is it?
Well, we got Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Missouri.
Okay.
I think we got New Mexico teams coming in.
Okay, well, it's taking in more territory than I thought, even.
Well, there's only one of 20 of these throughout the year.
They got to go if they want to make Amarillo.
They come from all over the nation trying to get qualified.
Amarillo by morning, isn't that what George said?
That's right. But, of course, we got all our best teams right here local. The Drummonds have a team in. Sooner Land and Cattle got a team in. All the big historic ranches from the area.
That's what I meant.
They all have a team in it.
Big Osage County ranches.
For sure. And we're hoping one of them take home the buckles from this deal and go to Amarillo.
Right.
We're trying to show everyone how good we are around here.
Right.
Against the world.
Yep.
So 7 p.m. on the 18th, second night of the Ranch Rodeo. And one ticket gets you in the junior Ranch Rodeo, the trade show, and the Ranch Rodeo that night. One ticket for the whole day.
Can't do a deal like that.
And right when the rodeo's over, we're kicking off the big rodeo dance featuring Adrian Brandon, the Buckaroo Girl.
If you don't know who she is, I don't know what's the matter with you, because she's all over the internet and Facebook and stuff. Just a really neat lady, singer. I don't know if you've seen the Cavender's commercial. I don't know if you'd call it a commercial. It's kind of
it's a music video with Cavender's.
Something to that effect. And she sings "America the Beautiful," and it's just really well done. And she's got a great voice, and she does that "America the Beautiful" about as good as anybody you'll ever hear. In fact, she sang it at the NFR last year.
I was going to say she did the national anthem last year at the Ranch Rodeo Finals in Amarillo. She did the national anthem and this song you're talking about, "America the Beautiful," at the NFR in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm. Sang it to some veterans, some war heroes, a Congressional Medal of Honor winner, and a couple more heroes there at Las Vegas.
And here a year or two ago, there's a big awards banquet in Oklahoma City called the Wrangler Awards, but it's like the Academy Awards for cowboy stuff, or the Grammys, or whatever you want to call it. And she won one of those awards for her singing or poetry or something. Or
writing. She's an author. She's really a lot more to her than just a singer. You know, she's really a neat lady, and she opened for Willie Nelson one year, I know, and she's a working cowgirl herself. You know, I see pictures of her on Facebook all the time, dragging calves and all that stuff. She's a real deal.
Riding broncs.
Yeah.
Roping.
Right.
But she's a whale of a singer. I saw something with her the other day. It said she's only doing like eight performances this whole year because she had a vocal cord injury. So this is one of the few times you'll be able to see her, and the only time she's played in this part of Oklahoma.
I wonder if she's going to take requests. I was hoping she'd play Oklahoma Hills.
Yeah, we already threw that bug in her ear.
Really?
We hope she plays it. She'll bring the house down with Oklahoma Hills
absolutely.
right here.
I can just see her singing that.
It'd be great if she sung it.
Old Hank Thompson song.
It's a good one.
Oh, yeah.
Oklahoma Hills, where I can't even get it out of my head now, Jimbo. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
So Saturday's jam-packed day, Saturday, June the 18th. I'm just going to go over that Saturday one more time for everybody, Jimbo.
Yep.
So 8 a.m., Osage County Cattlemen's Ranch Tour. 9 a.m., doors open, John Israel Cowboy Trade Show. 10 a.m., WRCA Junior Ranch Rodeo action. 10 a.m., D.D. Kyler Memorial Steer Open out at the Barkay Arena. You don't want to miss that one. 7 p.m., WRCA Ranch Rodeo. 10 p.m., approximately, Rodeo Dance featuring Adrian Brannon, the Buckaroo Girl, and of course, all day long, Artisans of the West, Cowboy show. Experience the West at the Constantine Theater.
And the Ben Johnson Cowboy Museum is open that day. I mean, you can just do all sorts of stuff here in Pawhuska.
Don't forget to check out the museum that day, too.
There's so much to do here in Pawhuska now.
There's no telling who you'll run into the museum in that day, even. You know, we got a lot of, quite a few little, we got a couple actors that's thinking about coming. Might be a surprise.
Yep.
And I forgot to tell you, we just got it confirmed the other day. The governor of Oklahoma is coming back.
Really?
He's entering the ranch rodeo again.
Again?
He didn't learn his lesson last year.
Well, yeah, he had a little tough luck last year. He finally picked up a couple feet before he get it dallied while the calf slipped out of it. But
hey, it sounds like a team roper excuse to me.
Well, I know it, but
no time's a no time.
I know.
But the governor of Oklahoma, he's coming back this year. He's entering the team sorting event. He's going up against the junior team from earlier in the day.
Yep. Well, I'm glad he's coming back.
Last year, the junior team took him to task, showed him how it was done. He entered the Brandon.
Right.
Didn't work out so well for him. Let's see how he does in the team sorting this year.
Right. Oh, I bet he'll have his ducks in a row this year.
Next year, he may be coming back and entering the ranch bronc ride.
I was going to say he may get in the bronc ride next year. He's just easing into this deal.
Yep. But anyway, you don't have too many governors competing rodeo.
No.
And this year, we got the governor from the state of Oklahoma coming back.
You don't even have very many that will come to a rodeo. I mean, he actually not only comes and supports it, but he's actually going to participate.
That's right.
Can't beat that.
That's right. It's going to be one of the only times it's ever happened in history. So we're looking forward to watching him in action. And then Sunday the 19th, Jimbo, the cherry on the Sunday.
The one that started it all.
One of the ones that started it all.
Yep.
The Cattlemen started it all way back.
Did,
but there's been a lot of things come and go and added to the week.
Right.
But the big day for us anyway.
Right.
Since 1954, Ben Johnson Memorial Steer Open.
Right.
And let's talk about that Ben Johnson Memorial Steer Open just for a second. A lot of people think it was named after Ben Johnson Jr.,
right,
the Academy Award-winning actor.
Right. But it wasn't Ben Johnson Sr., Ben's dad, Ben Jr.'s dad. He was a really well-liked guy. I mean, he was just always happy and around town, and just everybody loved him. He was the foreman of the Chapman Barn Ranch, which is now the Tallgrass Prairie Nature Preserve. And he died of cancer in 1952. And they wanted to do something for him, to honor him, because he was just such a popular figure. And they came up with this Ben Johnson Memorial Steer Roping in 1954. The Pawhuska Quarter Horse Futurity Racing Association sponsored the first one. And it's been a success from day one. And this is going to be, the 68th annual, I think?
I believe so.
That's amazing. Probably the longest running. Of course, we had that one COVID year, but that took out Cheyenne and all of them, you know. So no shame there. But other than that, it's every year since 1954.
It's been a great tradition around here. And, you know, I think this year they're taking the top 35 guys in the world, in the whole world. They're going to be competing here for the Ben Johnson Memorial Championship.
35. Hand-picked, aren't they? I mean, you know, they're the...
True invitational.
Right. Now, some of them, aren't they having a qualifying deal out there at Delbert's? One or two that get to qualify for the Ben Johnson?
Yeah, they do got a little qualifier out there at Delbert's. So, you know, I think maybe 5 guys get to come from that.
So we might wind up with
round
40,
winners and a couple in the average.
40 ropers, maybe. Something like that.
Between 35 and 40 ropers,
The first one had 15.
I know.
I think. But it was like $500 entry fee, too, and that was a lot of money in 1954.
I think the entry fee is only $750
I know,
today.
so that just shows you, you know, how big a deal it was back then.
Who won the first Ben Johnson steer roping?
Shote Webster.
Shote Webster. How many head did they rope back then, Jimbo?
5 head, I think.
5 head. Well, that's something.
I know.
I think they rope 3 and a short now.
Yeah. They roped 5 head for $500, and I think Everett Shaw won second. And my grandfather, Jim Snidely, won third, and he won a car. You know, because a local car dealer, Sid Shook, said that he'd give a car to any local roper that placed in the average, and Jim just happened to win third, and he won a beautiful, brand-new Oldsmobile. And there's a big picture of it here in the Ben Johnson Cowboy Museum, him with the car.
He might have made out better than...
Yeah.
He might have made out better than Shote.
Yeah, he did. I think he did.
That's a great-looking car.
Yeah, and what's funny about it, he loved Oldsmobiles anyway. He thought that was the car of choice to rodeo in anyway, and that's just happened to be what he won, was a big Oldsmobile.
So Sunday the 19th, at 11 a.m., we have the dummy roping. That's been a long time. That right there has been a long time part of the Ben Johnson.
You need to come early and watch that dummy roping, because they
Bring your
girls,
kids,
boys, it's really a neat deal.
You know, they didn't have things like that when I was a kid.
No,
they only
no.
had one. Pecos, Texas, one time.
Yeah.
They had a dummy roping. And, you know, Bryce Davis, Jim Davis's son, me and him went. We were just little old kids. Bryce done one in the dummy roping and won his first buckle.
Huh.
I won second.
Yeah.
I won second that year.
Always a bridesmaid.
Hey, that's all right.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah.
I think I won a gift certificate for something.
Yeah, well, there you go.
But Bryce, he won a first buckle right there in Pecos. And then, you know, they didn't have too many things like that when we were kids. And it's good to see they are involving the kids now. So.
Sure.
And there's some kids that can rope pretty good in that dummy rope.
They had dummy rope, but it was just freelance back behind the trailers. You know, kids were always
matching for money.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Yeah.
Did a little gambling as a kid.
Yeah, they were learning, right.
Yeah, we were all matching for money.
Right.
$quarter, $1, $5, $10 in a big match, something like that.
Right.
So, but the dummy roping starts at 11. Bring your kids, bring your family. And then 1 p.m., the 68th annual Ben Johnson Memorial Steer Roping, right there at the big arena.
Yep. Come see if a Pawhuska roper can win it. There's been several Pawhuska ropers win that Ben Johnson, hadn't there?
Yeah, they like to see a good Pawhuska roper.
Yeah.
We put our best ropers against the best in the world, and we like to see our best come out.
They don't call it the steer roping capital of the world for nothing.
They don't call it that for nothing. We got a lot of good ones from here.
I know. Been a lot of father-son teams have won it over the years too. You know.
One time, me and my dad won it, the father-son.
Oh yeah.
Because my dad roped real good that day. I didn't rope very good that day.
Right.
I kind of dropped the ball that day, Jimbo.
Yeah.
But my dad carried it.
Well, he
carried it for us.
Yeah.
And yeah, we won it. I think I can't even remember when it was.
Yeah.
2011 or something.
Huh. I'll be darned.
That's just a straight guess, Jimbo.
Yeah.
I don't know if it. No, I know. No, it had to be more like 2001, something like
You
that.
just missed it by 10 years.
I just missed it by 10 years. But that's the week, the 15th through the 19th, Ben Johnson Days right here in Pawhuska. The steer roping's named after Ben Johnson Sr.
But the arena's named after Ben Johnson Jr. It's kind of confusing.
And, you know, we just wanted to tip our hats to both the guys for the whole week. Ben Johnson Sr., Ben Johnson Jr.
And Cody, I was out there the other day, and there's a brand new sign. I know you know all about it because you had a lot to do with getting it put up there, but that honors all the people from Pawhuska. As you go in, everybody needs to, or from Osage County, everybody needs to check that sign out on their way in. It's a really cool deal.
Yeah, the museum sponsored that sign out there, and the county actually helped out with it too.
Right.
And we really appreciate it. We just wanted to give everybody Give everybody the recognition they deserve. If you're a world champion,
Right.
you need a sign with your name on it in your
You
home
should.
area.
Yeah.
No doubt about it, Jimbo.
Yeah, for sure.
And now they have one.
Right.
Every single one of them, and I hope we add more.
Oh, yeah, I bet we do.
I think we might. We got a good shot. We
Got a good
real
shot
good
this
shot.
year. We got 2 local contestants in the top 5 in the world. One in barrel racing and one in cab roping right now.
They're both on a heater.
As we speak.
And we ain't even got to the busy time of year yet.
No, they haven't even warmed up yet.
No.
Wendy's just been to 8 rodeos. Number 5 in the world. Everybody else has been 15 or 20.
Boy, she's amazing.
She sure is.
She really is. A nice lady, too.
Yes, for sure.
Nice lady. So that's all the events we got going on. I'm just going to give you one quick recap before we go, Jimbo. I'm just
Okay.
going to read them off real quick.
Whip it on me.
You can find out all the information on these. Ben Johnson Days on Facebook. Visit theosage.com. A couple places you can find out some information, but it's Wednesday the 15th through Sunday the 19th. Something going on every day. Wednesday the 15th, Ben Johnson, Artisans of the West show. It runs the 15th to the 19th. That's the opening night mixer. 16th, the Uncork Party. It's going to be a heck of a party put on by the Pawhuska Chamber of Commerce and Preserving the Arts of the Osage. And get a hold of the Pawhuska Chamber of Commerce. I guess Google their number right there. They're
Right.
real easy to find.
Right.
This is the only Chamber of Commerce in Pawhuska. They're putting it on. Get a hold of them for all the info on that party. Osage County Cattlemen's, they got their 2 great big yearly things going on. The Osage County Ranch Tour and the Osage County Cattlemen's Convention Trade Show. Get a hold of the Osage County Cattlemen's right there. We got all their contact information right there at Ben Johnson Days on Facebook. Get a hold of Jeannie Strom. She'll tell you all about it. The Buddy Hartness Memorial Steer Open. Get a hold of Rod Hartness. It's at 10 a.m. Friday the 17th. It's going to be a great event. The masters of our sport's what I call it. The
for
masters
sure.
of our sport.
They can flat get her done.
They know everything. They've seen everything. They've been around.
Smooth too. You know those guys. They've
Boy, they ride good horses too.
They ride good horses and they're just smooth. They make everything, every lick count.
Don't forget about the John Israel Cowboy Trade Show. Doors open at 1 p.m. Friday the 17th and 9 a.m. on Saturday the 18th. Anything you want from the Cowboy way of life, from bits, spurs, to paintings, to custom-made pocket knives, hats, boots, anything, they'll be selling it there. Over 50 vendors right there at the John Israel Cowboy Trade Show. And then nightly, Friday and Saturday night, 7 p.m. is the WRCA Ranch Rodeo action, saddle bronc riding, wild cow milking, you name it. There's a lot of action going on right there and some other events too, Jimbo. Don't forget about on Saturday the 18th about the D.D. Kyler Memorial Steer Open out at the Barkay Arena. Get a hold of OsageSteerRopingClub.com or Osage Steer Roping Club on Facebook for more information on that. Saturday night, we got the Buckaroo Girl, Adrienne Brandish. She's going to be here singing all of her favorites, all of your favorites too.
Can't wait.
She's only doing 8 shows this year. One of them's right here in Pawhuska.
Amazing. Can't wait to see her.
Sunday, the cherry on the Sunday, the cake at the end right here. Sunday, 11 a.m., we're going to have the big dummy roping where you can watch all the up-and-coming stars.
Future Ben Johnson winners, probably.
Actually, there's several
yeah.
former Ben Johnson winners that's won this dummy roping when they were kids. I can think of Brady Garden as one of them.
Yeah.
Definitely won this dummy roping when he was a kid, and he's also been a champion of the Ben Johnson Memorial Steer Open. 1 p.m. that day on Sunday, the 19th, is our 68th annual Ben Johnson Memorial Steer Open right out the Ben Johnson Jr. Arena. And then we'll see everybody next year from that, Jimbo.
Oh, sure. I just encourage everybody to come out and see what's going on. And a lot of people work hard to put this on, and we need to come out and support it.
And if you can't get a room in Pawhuska, we do have camping available out at the Fairgrounds, or there's hotels in Bartlesville and Ponca City and Tulsa. But it's going to be an action-filled weekend. I would highly suggest getting to Pawhuska June 15th through the 19th, Ben Johnson Days 2022. It's going to be a heck of a deal, Jimbo.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Everybody needs to come.
All right. Do you have anything else for them today, Jimbo?
No, just encourage them to come out and be sure and check out the museum while you're in town and see some of those Ben Johnson winners in here.
Then we got the whole history of the Ben Johnson steer roping.
Whole enchilada.
We got the Osage County Cattlemen's Hall of Fame in here. You name it. We got the history of all things this weekend going on right in here, plus a whole lot of other stuff too, Jimbo.
We'll see everybody June 15th to 19th.
All right. See you there, Jimbo.
Okay, I'll be there.
See y'all there. Till next week, it's been another great edition of the Cowboys of the Osage podcast. See y'all at Ben Johnson Days.